Hi friends, it's Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be another reading vlog, and we are going to be reading a fantasy romance that just came out this year in 2026 that I'm really excited for, and that is Rings of Fate by Melissa de la Cruz. And I know this book was a book of the month book for January, and that almost got me to get a book of the month subscription when I saw it there. It was so tempting. But I was like, no, like you could just borrow that from the library or something. And so then I did put a hold on it at the library. But then where I live, we just got slammed recently with a snowstorm, like a huge snowstorm. And so I haven't been able to get to the library to pick up my hold. But I realized that it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I have Kindle Unlimited again. So I'm going to start it on my Kindle, and then hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be able to get to the library and get my physical hold as well. But we'll see, because there's always a chance that I'll devour this book before I have the chance to get to the library. So I believe this is the first book in a series, which should I be starting any more series? No. But am I going to? Yes. And so I'm just going to read the description of this one to give you an idea of what it's about if you're not familiar with it already. So she's a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales. He's a prince cursed to live one. Erin Bellamore has no interest in being anyone's princess. She's too busy running the Raven's Beak Tavern, fending off unwanted marriage proposals, and dreaming of escape. But when a brush with death and a dangerously handsome stranger upend her life, Erin finds herself bound to a bargain that could change everything. Prince Deaton has carried the accursed rings of fate, ancient weapons of devastating power, since childhood. The magic is killing him, and the enemies are closing in. To make the journey to reverse his curse, he needs a bride to hide his secrets. Erin wants freedom. Pretending to be his fiancée should give them both what they want. But as a perilous journey pits them against political schemes, monstrous calandra, and a growing attraction neither can deny, the line between make-believe and destiny begins to blur, and the fate of two kingdoms may depend on whether a cynical barmaid and a cursed prince are willing to risk their hearts. And so this one just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just in the mood for like a fun fantasy romance. Like that's what I want right now. And so hopefully this delivers on that. And so I'm going to start this on my Kindle, but also I noticed that it is on sale on Audible for only $6.48 at the moment. So I might end up buying it from Audible because the next couple of days I do have some stuff that I want to get done around my apartment, so listening to it would be really helpful. Hi, so it's the next day and I'm here with a reading update. So I made it to chapter 16, page 117 on my Kindle. And so far this book is definitely checking the box on being fun. And one of the reasons I'm having fun with this book is because of our main female character, Erin. So she is snarky, she is fiery, she speaks her mind, and she does not take nonsense from anyone. And she is a strong female character, but she also has a soft and vulnerable side as well, which is seen through her love for her two twin sisters, who she practically raised on her own because of their mother's death. And so I feel like seeing this soft, vulnerable side of her makes her feel more relatable. And I think sometimes with other fantasy romances, they don't show like a softer side of the strong female character, and they just make them feel unrelatable. And that makes them feel like a little out of reach, and sometimes I can't always connect to them. But so far, I'm not having this problem with Erin at all. And speaking of just like fantasy romance in general, this book does feel like very formulaic. It feels very much like a fantasy romance. And I feel like that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Because, hey, Hallmark movies are very formulaic and lots of people still watch them. And so I feel like this is kind of like that type of situation. Like if you like fantasy romance and you like all the tropes that come along with it, and you just want like a fun time with a book that doesn't like really require a lot of brain power that you can just like easily slide into, then you might enjoy this. But if you're looking for a fantasy romance that is different and has more depth to it, then this probably won't be for you. And then also like the writing style in this, it's very simple, it's very bare bones. And again, I feel like that could be a good or a bad thing. Like if you're looking for something that's more lyrical or more descriptive, then this probably won't be the book for you. But again, if you're just looking for something that is easy, that doesn't require a lot of brain power, just something that you can get lost in after like a hard day of work, then this may be the book for you. And then another part of the book that is making it fun so far is the banter between Erin and our love interest, Deaton, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right or not, and I just have to say his name is like kind of weird and I don't really like it. And it seems like even more weird because he has best friends whose names are Jared and Marcus, and those are just such normal names. And his name next to their names just makes this name seem even more outlandish. But anyways, moving on. So Deaton, he just feels a lot like your typical male love interest. Like he's a prince, he's a charmer, he's a smooth talker, he's handsome. He falls in love with our main female character like at first glance. He's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen someone as beautiful as her. Like, it's all stuff like if you're a fantasy romance reader, then you've seen it before. But that being said, there is a part of him that is intriguing that I feel like makes him stand out from other male love interests, and that is like the situation dilemma that he is facing at the start of this book. So he has these rings, the Rings of Fate, which is the title of the book, that are stuck in his shoulder blades on his back. These are magic rings that are in the possession of the royal family that they are supposed to use to protect their kingdom. But because of some incident, they became stuck in Deaton's back, and they've been there since he has been 10 years old, and he has been ever since trying to find a healer that can remove them from his back without killing him. And so currently he has been traveling the lands under the guise of looking for a bride, but he's actually trying to find a healer. And so his journey ends up bringing him to Erin's village. And so the two of them meet, and at first, Erin wants nothing to do with him, whereas he like kind of falls in love with her at first sight. And now we're kind of like at the part where the two of them are about to go off on their journey to try to find the healer. But I just feel like so far, like their whole relationship has just been fun to read, largely because of their bantering and how they don't get along. And one other thing I do like about their relationship so far is there has been a time where Deaton saved Erin, but also there was a time when she saved him from a certain situation as well. So I already like how the power dynamic between them seems like pretty even. And also learning about the magic of these rings makes me interested in learning about the other magic in this world, because there is mention of how there used to be people who had magic, but now they're kind of extinct. And so I'm wondering if we're going to meet more of them. So yeah, those are kind of all my thoughts at the moment. So like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with this. And like, while I don't think this is going to be like the best fantasy romance that I've ever read, I am having fun. And that's what I wanted out of this, was just to have fun with it. So as long as I keep having fun with it, then I'm going to keep reading it. Hi, so it's the next day and I'm just about to start part 3 of the book. I'm on chapter 21 and according to my Kindle about 54% through the book, so I'm halfway through and I'm just continuing just to have like so much fun with this book. It's just like such a fun time and I'm at the point where like I am loving Erin as a main female character. Like in the beginning she felt slightly like generic, but now like she's really come into her own as a character. And I just really love how it's clear that she's really a strong character, but she still shows vulnerability and weakness at times. And that just like makes her feel like so real. And then Deaton, the love interest, I also feel like has grown on me. I still don't think he's as developed as Aaron, but he is like also starting to come into his own as a character as well. And then the two of them together, I love their dynamic so much. So the romance is definitely romancing. And Aaron and Deaton are definitely giving me Rapunzel and Flynn Rider vibes from Tangled. Like, they remind me of them a little bit. And also they are giving a little bit of Poppy and Castile from Blood and Ash as well. And another thing that I find just like very interesting about their dynamic, their relationship, is that Aaron is actually a couple years older than Deaton, and usually that's not the norm in like fantasy romance books. I feel like usually the guy is the older one, and so I just think that is fascinating. And then the plot has been moving along a little bit, but I feel like more the focus of the book is on the romance, and kind of like the romance and the plot is also intertwined because it is a fantasy romance. And I am here for the romance, and I'm kind of just, okay, just going with the ride of the plot. But it's not really like why I'm here for this book. I'm here for the romance and the fun times that the romance is bringing. And then I have started listening to this on audiobook, so it is dual narrated. So there's a voice actor that does Aaron, and there's a voice actor that does Deaton. And they each do all the parts in their section. And before starting the audiobook, I was a little nervous because there were reviews that said that the male voice actor wasn't very good. And so I started the audiobook. I love Aaron's narrator, like she does her character so well. And then Deaton's character is, yeah, I can definitely see what the reviews are saying. I feel like his narration is not my favorite. And I feel like his voice actor at times is like just trying a little bit too hard and putting too much emotion into his voice. But it's not like so bad that I can't listen to it. Like, I can still listen to it, and I feel like the more I listen to his chapters, like just the more I'm getting used to the voice. So I finished The Rings of Fate, and so I'm here with my final thoughts. Oh, but before I talk about my final thoughts, I just wanted to say that I have started editing this video, and I noticed when I was editing the banana bread footage that I never took like a final clip of the finished banana bread. So I just wanted to say, like, I did bake the banana bread and it was yummy, just in case you're wondering. And I actually finished it a little over a week ago, but the day I finished it was the day I started to lose my voice. And so that's why it's taking me so long to come film my final thoughts. But overall, I had a fun time reading it, and just my favorite thing about it was just how fun it was, and also the romance. The romance was just very sweet and sappy, and I know like sappy romance isn't for everyone, but I personally have a weakness for it, and so I really enjoyed the romance in here. And that being said, I am giving this a 3.75 because it wasn't quite a 4-star read, but also like was more than a 3-star read. And while I really enjoyed the romance and how fun the book was, everything else was just kind of fine. So like the plot, the writing, the magic system world building was just all kind of fine. Like all the rest of that stuff just kind of felt like your typical fantasy romance. There wasn't really anything that like really stood out to me. But that being said, like that didn't bother me because like I said before, I just wanted to have a fun time with this book. That was like all I was looking for. I just picked this up just wanting to have a fun time, and the book definitely delivered that. One thing that did surprise me about this book though is at the end everything is wrapped up. The story of Aaron and Deaton is wrapped up. And that surprised me because this is the first book in a series, and so I wasn't expecting everything to be wrapped up, but maybe this is like one of those series where it's made up of interconnected standalones. But that being said, to me, like not really any of the side characters like stood out to me. And there was only like maybe one side character that I would like to see their story told, but I feel like she might be too young because she's only 16. But then again, maybe there could be like a time skip because she's really like the only side character that I kind of felt like a connection to. Like all the other side characters just kind of felt one note. And so I am very intrigued to see like what the second book is about and who it follows. But overall, I had a really fun time reading this, and while it's not like a new favorite fantasy romance of all time, it was what I was needing at the time. So those are my thoughts on Rings of Fate. Let me know down below if you read this book, what you thought of it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!